So we're seeing a bit of weakness that's come to the fore today, but key highlights that we've actually been seeing over the past while. And again, it really just has to do with what we see from the banking sector and anticipated earnings.
Yeah, not necessarily earnings. I think UBA has shown that it's not necessarily earnings that are driving it. I think it's all about communication. You know, we saw them go to the market and talk to investors and tell them, you know, what was happening to them, how they had to sell off the bad loans to AMCON. And, you know, investors are listening to the story, investors are buying the story, and we're seeing a lot of volumes. We're seeing things happening in the market. We're also seeing O&O. O&O is also trading very well. And the investors are also, that have put their money in O&O earlier, are being rewarded for their faith in the company.
Well, let's just touch on further on that. I mean, with regards to the sale process of the banks as well, I mean, what kind of trends are you foreseeing going forward with regards to AMCON this year?
Yeah, there's a bidding process that's supposed to start very soon. Right now, AMCON is working out the needs and details, but the key things we have to look at is, you know, the banks that are up for sale, which are Main Street, Spring Bank, and Enterprise Bank, and you know what value these banks are going to hold for investors. Or what kind of investors are looking at these banks? Foreign investors, local investors. I was reading today, the MD of Diamond Bank says he's actually considering acquisitions. I have a feeling Fidelity too might be considering acquisitions in the market. When it comes to Main Street Bank, you know, you can look at their strong branch network they already have in place, and you know, any of those other banks that latch on to this, you know, are going to get a very strong market presence immediately. In the case of Enterprise, they also have a very strong branch network. Keystone, not necessarily, but you know, they have very good innovative products they've built over time. So you know, we're sure foreign investors are looking at it. We're sure local investors are looking at it, and anyone that comes in and buys in is going to make a splash in the market.
Also, I mean, you alluded to this a little earlier. We also know that the Securities and Exchange Commission waiving the requirement that compels listed companies to actually put an earnings forecast out. We know here in South Africa, if it's above or below 20%, then you have to put an earnings forecast out. Is this going to hamper investor sentiments in the country because there's less visibility down the line?
I don't see that happening. I think earnings forecasts will still, companies will still have to disclose their earnings forecasts. For this market to continue to grow, there are three things that are needed. You know, we need discipline, we need strategic planning, you know, and we also need other things to make investors feel very confident, to boost up investor confidence in the market. But a lot of investors are scared that their trade secrets are being given away. We look at a case of a global company like Coca-Cola. They're releasing investor quarterly earnings, and their trade secrets are not being given away. So I don't really see this happening. I think the market needs more efficiency, and more information needs to be released. So I don't see them waiving those requirements.
Fantastic, Akinola. We have to leave it there. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Great to have you on the program. Akinola Jones, Assistant Vice President at BGL.